Then it switches back to the scene where everybody disembarks from the ships as though they are refugees of such a humiliating and degrading way for a supreme queen to foresee things. She could ride her dragons, but she just doesn't do so because she has a sensation that by her mere presence walking with the people, she has nothing to ride or celebrate anyway. The dragons, of course, do follow. And she reflects on a scene where one of the dragon slayers, a female, tells her that as she walks what is called the trip of tears through the desert back to Marine, that she is nothing and that she can easily take her life by merely cutting her like a fish from navel to neck because she has to hide behind dragons, whereas she was a true warrior. Again, more insulting remarks to her that she would learn how to use a sword and be a warrior like her. So therefore, she is nothing and wants to take her life. But she is forbidden this in much respect and without dishonoring her by the um, king of the Lannis house because already made the pact that she would not be humiliated as much if she leaves freely and takes the dragons with her. And they will keep this from the history books. So to save at least some of her dignity without anything being put in there because of the sensitive royal politics that would be involved. It should anything be put in history books of this great defeat for her, but a great victory for King's Landing and all the people who have suffered because of her approach in the way she did. Then,
as Daenerys walks what would be considered the Trip of Tears, um, the musical scene is played during that time, and she has other things that she thinks about before she reflects on another threatening gesture that was made by one of the Dragon Slayer leaders. This particular Dragon Slayer leader, that is, who told her that she needed to lock her dragons up or suffer the consequences because they would love to hunt one down as fair game. Missandei doesn't walk too far behind her, along with Grey Worm leading the Unsullied warriors and the other knights who survived the overwhelming forces that forced her in the end with much siege and with most unexpected retaliation to force her off the throne. So this is the scene of where she struggles each step walking all the way back to Marine to be amongst the people so that to some point she gives them comfort by her mere presence.
Then the command leader of the Dragon Slayer tells her that if she doesn't lock up her two dragons or find a way to contain them, they will kill them. She knows that he's not bluffing. And so she decides, once they get back to Marine, to lock them up.
Daenerys seems to almost be ready to stumble because of the heartache and the sadness that she has. The handmaid, Missandei, decides that if Daenerys is not going to call for a break, she will, and does so. My queen, you need to drink something. I'm fine. No, the queen, respectfully, I request that you drink something. We all need you. You are our queen. We would be lost without you. Daenerys looks at her, kind of puzzled that she would say this, as if she didn't expect her to actually see something important in her or of value because of her loss. You will rise again. You must have faith, Daenerys. I know that the sadness in your heart is heavy, and each step must feel like very heavy weights holding you down. But you will make it. I don't know how. I'm not a visionary. But something is going to come your way, Daenerys. And we have faith in you. You need to have faith in yourself. Draw strength from our faith. Will you at least do this for us? Because we are following you and will follow you anywhere. She is quite speechless. Yes, I will. I've already failed once. I will not fail again. And I will not let you all down. So with that, she takes the water from the handmaiden, Missandei, and slowly drinks, and decides to take a rest before continuing on. She tells then Grey Worm she needs a rest for a while. She has much weary and sorrow on her heart. I understand. We rest then for a while, then move on? Yes, just for a little while. So with that, then it switches to Dragonstone while they are resting for a bit.
Daenerys, sadly trodden, defeated, humiliated, and degraded, entering the palace with tears in her eyes because this is the greatest loss that she could have ever experienced. She then, before getting settled into the Marine Palace, does have the two dragons follow her. She locks them up as she had done before because she loves her dragons, does not want them harmed. Then, of course, the dragons aren't happy, and again, once they show anger at this, and of course, she has to duck around the corner quickly to keep from being fried by them because the dragons would see this as some type of treachery in their own state of mind, being dragons. So it then ends the scene where she looks over the balcony at the Marine Palace of Marine, tears in eyes, and feeling as though part of her has died. She does not know how to handle this because this is the greatest loss and defeat that she has ever had, and she's never lost in such a way. And thus ends episode 3.
This musical scene is the one where, as she looks over the kingdom of Marine from her pyramid palace out by the balcony, word gets to the visionary that she is in solitude, in much mourning, and is back at the palace. He sends his aide, who helped him as he gets ready to make his presentation ahead, with the notes of not only his dream vision that night, but of one that came shortly before her arrival, and instructs the aide, make sure she gets this. Have her read it first, and then I shall make my appearance, so that I can better explain it to her in a simplified way, so she'll understand all is not lost. I understand, my lord. So make haste. And so he does during this musical scene where it switches back from him to Daenerys as he gets closer to where her location is at, as she remembers all the plans and achievements she made up to the great battle invasion when she had gone towards King's Landing. The aide finally makes it in, almost short of breath. My queen, may I have been given instructions to give you this. She slowly turns, looks at him like she's not sure what his motivation or intentions are, but yet then realizes his is only a pure innocence. I was told it is of great urgency that you read this. It could be of great news for you. She looks at the scroll, back at him. All right, I will take this. You may be dismissed. May I speak freely, my queen? I don't always get this opportunity to speak to someone as honorable as you. She kind of slightly smiles at this compliment. Gary Seed, we all believe in you. You do. My, how rumors seem to travel fast, she says, rolling her eyes a bit. But we honor you. You're our queen. And there is hope when you read this. She looks back at him, eyebrows slightly raised. This is supposed to be good news. I think you will, for it comes from the palace visionary. He wishes to speak with you. I was given instructions directly to report directly to you. You have hope. It's going to be revealed soon, but I am not in authority to give this to you. It has to come from him. All right. I shall read this and inform him that I will give him audience to speak. I could use some good news right about now. It will be, I assure you, my queen. Very well, she says slightly, almost with a bigger smile. And it was nice meeting you, Lawrence. Lawrence. It's funny, I never met you before. Well, guess you could say I'm one of lower palace duties. I very rarely see anybody of great importance like you. I see. Well, thank you, Lawrence. It's nice meeting you. Sorry, I've never gotten a chance to meet before. But thank you for the message. I shall read it. And again, let your lord, the palace visionary, know that I will give him an audience so that he can explain this. I will, my queen. And he bows with a big smile because for him this was the greatest honor. She kind of rolls her eyes a bit, giving him a slight smile back, shakes her head, knowing that, well, it was probably something that he had looked forward to, so she wasn't about to disappoint him with a sad type look, and pulls the seal on the scroll back and begins reading about the dream and the vision. And slowly but surely, a slight grin, not much, starts to form as she reads intently. And this scene is one that starts giving her a bit of hope. As the music plays on, it shows that the visionary finally enters and waits for her to finish reading before she resumed her position looking over the kingdom. And this is where the episode, and then, of course, would end, but not without for him to say just a few words. My queen, I hope you've read the scroll carefully. I have. And is this supposed to mean something? You have not understood what my dream the night before or the vision that I had recently before you arrived means? No, I kinda do, but I have. I don't want to make another mistake of getting hopeful and it become disappointment. I don't think you're going to find disappointment in this. I really am just not in the mood for anything right now. Then I take it you do not wish to gain the Iron Throne of Swords or the realm of the kingdom. Then you have changed your mind about this. Or do you wish to listen and see how you can get this? She slowly turns with an eyebrow raised and a big smile. Are you certain of this? Oh, yes, and much, much more. So, with that, the scene ends as she nods her head slowly in agreement. For this is something that could be in suspense and much anticipation. For if she has read the scroll correctly, there is a stranger coming from a dark blue star in her Valerian night sky, a prophecy and forbidden love of two dragons.